Welcome, everyone. I hope you're ready as we get week 2 underway of the Prodigy Racing Association's GT3 Series. I'm Thomas Cuthbert, also known as Orion I, here to bring you this series as we go through what exactly has gone down. Fun fact, the trading paint's still broken, but we're going to hopefully get that up and running. We are in the lobby at the moment. The lobby has opened up early, and for us, we're going to get to explain things a little bit early. Once again, 4 weeks of GT3 action on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It might actually be Daylight Savings Time. Don't know. All GT3 cars will be in play. You can pick whichever one you would like to use. It's open setups. It's random weather. Have some fun with it. Let's have a look at the list of races. We had Daytona last week. Today is our Sebring Day. August 1st will be Watkins Glen, the boot variation, the good variation. And then Road Atlanta will be where we end it. The lobbies open up. Usually 8:45. We open this one up at 8:30 this time around. The qualifying will still be at 9 p.m. and with 45 minutes on the track. For today, we are headed to Sebring, home of another of the most famous endurance races on the calendar, as you can see, with the R being replaced with a 12. Usually on the board here at the Full Send Friday nights in the Prodigy Racing Association. In the international format, of course. And we're going to go through our list of drivers yet again. We've had some changes since the last time we had a look. At the top of the list, what you'll notice, Nathan Melnichuk no longer on the list. He has officially retired from competition. So the number 7 is now vacant. And with that, our list begins with Landon Lacey in the Mercedes-AMG GT3, followed by Cody Linscott in the Lamborghini Huracan. Richard Murray hops in the McLaren 720S, and behind him is Marlo Duncan at the number 12 in the BMW M4, with Cody Johnson at the 13 car in the Ferrari 296. Our second set of drivers is Andrew Fabian in the Corvette Z06, Shannon Milliken in the Ferrari 296, Aaron Fontaine the Acura NSX, Adam Jones in the Ford Mustang, and Zach Lesenby in the McLaren 720S. Rodney Roberts on the board in the Ferrari 296, Curtis Velichka, the Porsche 992, Dan Nicholson, the Ford Mustang, Daniel Borgert-Pepping in the McLaren 720S, Javier Lopez, the Mercedes-AMG. That's not how that's supposed to go. Give us a hot second here. Let's get that fixed up. Apologies to Jake Raven in the Corvette Z06, Alex Jones, the McLaren 720S, Travis Moline in the Ford Mustang GT3, Christopher Melton and the 49 car in the Ferrari 296, the 56 car belonging to Dalton Steele in the Mercedes-AMG. Peter Dillon at the 63 car in the Acura NSX, Brittany Chanel at number 82 in the Mercedes-AMG. Austin LeBlanc drives the number 111, a Chevrolet Corvette Z06. A new driver enters the field. It's Blake Toe, using the number 153 in the Ferrari 296. Yellow Wills in the number 204 in the Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Our final driver on the board, number 947, Andrew Yoon in the McLaren 720S. And with the first week being completed, we've got standings on the board. We don't have points on the board just yet. We'll get those ready for next week. But for now, we can see all the drivers who have put some times on the board and got points on the board. Javier Lopez won the race last week after qualifying at pole position. Yellow Will's right behind him in second place. Alex Jones, despite finishing 4th in race number 1, ended up with more points due to bonus points and qualifying time. Landon Lacey slots into P4 and the standings. Andrew Fabian in P5, Roberts in 6th, Velichka 7th, Fontaine in 8th, Melton 9th, and Daniel Nicholson in 10th. Our second set of points, that's incorrect. There we go. Richard Murray in P11, Cody Johnson in 12th, Andrew Yoon 13th, Brittany Chanel 14th, Austin LeBlanc will be in 15th, Travis Moline 16th, Peter Dillon 17th, Dalton Steele 18th. Melnichuk currently sits in 19th. That will fall as he will no longer be registering points for the GT3 Series. Adam Jones in 20th. Only 3 other drivers have recorded points. These were drivers who could not make the race last week: Jake Raven, Cody Linscott, and Shannon Milligan. A couple things to note for this event is that we will have 3 drivers not be available for this race. Aaron Fontaine, Austin LeBlanc, and Travis Moline out for this race. And Aaron Fontaine was our in-race driver, and so this time there's going to have to be a change on the horizon. Looking at all the drivers, looks like not everyone has hopped on just yet, so we shall wait and see. But a driver who has hopped in, his name is Alex Jones, as we're going to need to do some finagling here on our side here. Let's get this booted up and ready. And let's get a look at the track. Let's get the full view here as the Prodigy Racing Association gets ready for its set of action here at the Sebring International Raceway. We've changed up the board a little bit. Gone are the I rating and the license. On the board now are your last lap. Oh, heads up, Chanel's off the track. You have your last lap and best lap on the board. We'll swap between having that on and off the board, like so. For now, we have the best lap up there. Let's take fastest lap off. And there you go. I think that went through. Oops, my bad. Regardless, Alex Jones in the number 45 car, the Frog 45, taking 4th place in the race last week, had himself quite the incident in the bus stop of Daytona, being chased by Andrew Fabian, but held it together long enough. I did not hold it together here at Sebring at the Sunset Bend. The sun sets for his car. Let's have a look around the rest of the track. How about Velichka in the pits? How about Nicholson on the track? Perfect. Why has he got an antenna out the top? I don't know. I don't know these cars well enough. We're in the practice session at the moment. The qualifying will not be starting for another 10 minutes. So we're going to bounce out of here. I think we're actually going to bounce out of this one as well. Okay, we'll keep tapping that. Anyway. So Fontaine out, LeBlanc out, Moline out. Let's have a look at our board to see who is in. Jake Raven is on the track and will be racing for today. Things you like to see is a Jake Raven on the board. I'll tell you that much. Blake Toe as well is out there. We'll get to see what he's all about in the Gulf Ferrari. It appears that Trading Paints, let's actually see. Did it get update right? No, it did not. So I was informed at the end of last week that Robert's livery was supposed to be something different. We are refreshing it again because unfortunately it appears that, yeah, it's just not doing it. Just really annoying. Trying to get all these liveries updated because some of these guys have great looking cards and I want to show them off. And unfortunately, last week the livery of this number 29 car did not update, and it looks like that's going to continue to be the case. My apologies for you guys. I really did want to show you all that. Anyways, let's look at Blake Toe on the board at the moment. So right now, how about we get our fastest laps on the board? I want to see how he's been doing. A 2:02.27. Not bad. Not bad at all. In the Gulf Ferrari, as mentioned before. Hopefully, the rest of the liveries have updated. If not, I don't know. We are going to move that logo at the top right. Let's do that now. We were initially intending on having the rolling standings across the top of the screen, but unfortunately those have broken every time I've used them. So in the meantime, while we look for an alternative, we'll have to keep that one away. Let's look to see. For now, we're just going to keep following the action here with Blake Toe, currently in second position at the end of this practice. Landon Lacey holds the top spot. Oh, we have encoder over it? No, looks like it was okay. Everyone's staying nice and calm. Gotta be, it's practice. You don't need to get aggressive. What are we doing otherwise? Around the hairpin. Can I remember the names of any of these corners? No. Track it. So they're going down Fangio right now, heading towards Cunningham. This hard right-hander then transitions into Collier to the tower. Here would be the tower coming on up, turn 13 on the track. You then have this, oh! Good save from Toe. Give a round of applause for Blake Toe. You go down this straight here, it then turns into this little chicane. This is Bishop. And as Bishop keeps on rolling, it then transitions into Le Mans and heads on to the Ullman Straight. And off to the Ullman Straight we go. As, oh, Toe's gone round! Not good at all. On board now with Javier Lopez. Got to see a different side of the track. So Blake Toe, quite aggressive in the Ferrari. A joke that I constantly like to run that you will, if you're in any of the Discords with the Prodigy Racing Association, discord.gg/PRA, by the way, for those interested. If you're in there, you'll probably see me mention that Audi fans are in shambles. There is not a single Audi GT3 car in this series. That is not a joke. Oh my God. I gotta update this PRA logo for all of them. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Yeah. Setting stuff up for later on, as you do. We stay here with Lopez around turn 1. Lopez now the top spot in practice. Who saw that one coming? Not high, for sure. What is that lap time? A 2:01.45. Landon Lacey's best time, a 2:01.527. That's not who I'm looking for. Keep going. There it is. Get this up and running. Ah! Let's go around the other parts of the track. How about Velichka in the pits? How about Melton on the track? Good. Good. We're just going to get to watch these guys roam around the track as we get ourselves ready for the qualifying to begin. Christopher Milton right now 10th on the board. Brittany Chanel up to 9th in practice. In the pits right now. Here's Alex Jones. And it's Alex Jones! 2:05.202 is best lap on the board. We've got a crash with Andrew Yoon. We don't need to worry about that. And around the Sunset Bend we go. Don't worry, the joke is already waiting for me. I'm ready. I'm lined up for it. But you know what? Let's get a proper lap in so we can talk about this. So you start by heading into turn 1. You've got this massive space of track on the outside because this also has to account for the pit exit right out of turn 1. So following turn 1, you've got this little bit of a chicane here, followed by your first hard left-hander. He's going to let a car go. That's Lopez, who gets in front of Jones. It's going to be nice and easy now with Lopez in front. Lopez a little bit out of control past this left-hander. As you can see on the bottom left, you've got the track map on your screen. It'll then turn into this massive straightaway with a slight bend off to the right. You then head into a sharp right-hand turn. This is the hairpin, which will then approach after the chicane to Fangio, which is this right-hand section that becomes a left soon after, with a straightaway here, the end of it called Cunningham, as Lopez is going to head off the track, and we'll get to keep an eye on Alex Jones at his cockpit view. Now through Collier. And with this, he will approach the tower, which is this sharp 90-degree right-hand turn. And with that, you have a massive straightaway ahead of you, which then will turn into a slight left known as Bishop. Turn 15 soon follows this right-hander. As you then go through Le Mans and head on to the Ullman Straight. The Ullman Straight, a long, long stretch of road, longer than the area by the start-finish line, where you'll stay on this left side pretty much about where he's sitting. You've got the groove in the road to work with. You'll then head into this delighting section of tarmac, start slowing it on down as you go around Sunset Bend. And as you do that, you'll make your way towards the line where the pit entry is on the right-hand side of the exit of Sunset Bend, and around you go. That is a lap of Sebring. And with traffic to deal with, that's a 2:04.113 from Alex Jones to finish up his run of practice. He'll head into the pits. Only one more driver on the track. I believe it is Andrew Fabian, who heads off. Fabian qualifying in third in the first race of the series, with Alex Jones in fourth, Lacey fifth. And then through the race, Lacey got better points than Alex Jones, but the problem is Alex Jones ended up with the bonus point. You get bonus points for leading a lap. Alex Jones led a single lap after a pit from the leader in Javier Lopez in the massive battle for the lead he had with Yellow Wills, which we will maybe see more of as we go through. We get ready as we head into the qualifying session. For race 2, it's a nice and sunny day at the Sebring International Raceway, and we'll get ourselves ready for some qualifying action here in week 2 of the Prodigy Racing Association's GT3 Series. Keep this window there. Alrighty. So we are about 9 o'clock now, so we should see some cars hit the track. Jake Raven is out there, so we'll go to him and have a look to see how his qualifying is. Jake Raven, unfortunately, unable to join us in race number 1, but here today at Sebring. While the Prodigy Racing Association will say this is a test series, we are, of course, going to take it with the utmost seriousness that a GT Racing Series deserves. And even with it being a test series, this is, in fact, these guys are going to put their best out there, as they should. Because the best is what the people deserve. So have a look around. We've got 2 streams up and running. We've got the Prodigy Racing Association Network, the main stream for today. 7 of you in here. Welcome all of you as we get to see Jake Raven around his outlap. I love that angle. I love that the TV mixed actually, mixes it up properly. Just getting the space all set up. Want to be nice and ready and comfortable for today's race. 45 minutes of racing here at the Sebring International Raceway. Not nearly the 12-hour bonanza you might usually get for a race at Sebring. But don't you worry, we've got plenty, and I mean plenty of Sebring to go around for everyone. So we're going to have a couple other drivers hit the track. One of them had a crash. Let's have a look at Landon Lacey, shall we? We didn't get to see Lacey much in the race yesterday. Yesterday? Sir? What? Last week, we didn't get to see much of Lacey. And so I think today he deserves a bit more of a spotlight. Took the third place podium spot at the race at Daytona. After a good battle with Fabian for that third place spot. Did I do that too many times? Yes, I did. Getting everything all set up and ready to go. I need to redo. Lacey up to the Omen straight. I believe this is an out lap, so this will not be for the lap time. We'll get to see when these lap times start rolling in what these guys are pulling. All right, pull this one over. What do we got? Anyone else on the track? How about a Brittany Chanel? Eh? No. Back to Jake Raven for a hot second as we look through. How about Peter Dillon? The lone Acura for today's race with Fontaine out for this race. That has already been confirmed. Travis Moline as well in that list of drivers who will not make it. And it does also include Austin LeBlanc. One more. One more for this, and that is a space ready to go. Alrighty. Hoping to see some great racing. We saw some phenomenal racecraft across the board at Daytona. We are hoping for more of the same out of this one. How about Shannon Milliken? You know what? Let's go see. Never mind. Daniel Nicholson. Let's see Daniel Nicholson as he goes down the Ullman straight, putting his first lap on the board. The first times to come in, Andrew Fabian with a 2:02.59. Nicholson looking to break that here in the Mustang with a gigantic tube for air conditioning. Because it's safe to say, when you drive these in real life, they get hot. Nicholson slots into 5th at the moment. Javier Lopez takes pole position at the moment, a 2:01.69. Ooh, a little bit wide there from Nicholson, but he holds on to it. Rodney Roberts, there he is. So unfortunately, I was informed that this is not his actual livery, but his actual livery won't load for me. So, Rolex Ferrari. I'm sorry, Rodney. I've tried the trading paints thing 4 different times. I've even re-downloaded the entire app. I reinstalled it, everything. It just refuses to play nice. All files up to date. Watch, it's refreshing. Rolex. Roberts will move up to 4th position with a 2:03.3. Is that 2:01.69? I think so. Let's have a look around. Landon Lacey. Okay. Landon Lacey's going to be up there, battling with Lopez for the lead. Will's right now down in 4th with a 2:02.8. We heard from him after Daytona's race. Not satisfied with his performance. Felt that he was losing a second pretty much every lap compared to what he had done in practice. Which is true. We did see that. We did see his practice sessions. He was quite swift in those. Let's go down the board. How about a Curtis No. How about a Blake Toe? Around the Sunset Bend. Uh-oh. We've had an incident. I do believe that is Nicholson finishing up his laps. A 2:04.18 is his final time. And Blake Toe off to a hot start in 4th position with his first qualifying time of the season. 2:02.1. And he's off. Not ideal. And he's kind of ruined the lap, so he's going to head off the track. No Shannon Milliken. No. Hey, Cody Linscott in the Huracan. Did we see the Huracan at all last week? I don't know if we had a look at it. It's a Prodigy Racing Association livery as well. It is gorgeous. Love the look of this thing. Let's get in the cockpit of this thing. Let's listen to it. Why is the screen on light mode? What? Oh, he had a hard time around Sunset Bend. A little bit too far on the inside. And it got really uncomfortable for him. #12th position at the moment. Still has another lap to go. Try and make up some time. Very, very safe through turn 1. Oh, whoa! Oh, oh, she's sliding. $18 drivers registered for today's race. And an incident with Jake Raven. Not good. We'll stay with Cody Linscott, have a look around some of the rest of the looks around. Like the Huracan just looks great, man. Glad to see it get some representation here. If only the Audi got this kind of love, you know? I'm just saying. I say as someone who owns not the Audi. Licenses, excuse me. So he goes through Bishop, making his way to Le Mans. And now to the Ullman Straight. We've had a crash. Neat. We've had a crash. Neat. Alex Jones in 7th position to finish on up. As we'll watch the rest of the lap from Cody Linscott and get ready for the race. Oh, is he going to make it? It's going to be close. Looking to battle to the line and get himself his last qualifying time, trying to improve on a 2:10.2. And he does, 2:06.593. Raven. Raven. In the pits. Neat. And I believe that is going to do it for our qualifying session. And yes, it will. So there are 18 drivers registered. Kuba as an administrator in this regard. So it's 17 people on the track. And it's Alex Jones. It's Adam Jones is actually the line. That's the Baltimore thing. Any other TV angles? Oh, this is that one. Ooh. Okay. Lopez will take pole position. Landon Lacey in 2nd off a 2:01.3. Yellow Wills with a 2:01.9. Andrew Fabian, the first 2:02 on the board. Why did you disappear on me, Javier? How dare you? Blake Toe takes 5th in qualifying with a 2:02.1. Rodney Roberts in 6th, 2:02.5. Alex Jones 7th, 2:02.6. Christopher Melton, a 2:03. Is it a 5? I think it's a 5. Daniel Nicholson in 9th with a 2:04.18. Andrew Yoon 10th, 2:06.2. Cody Linscott, 2:06.5. And Jake Raven, a 2:07.4. The rest will be, is that random order? Why is Milliken below the ball? I don't know. We are about ready to roll. Let's get this show underway, huh? Hopping on in is Blake Toe. Good to see him hop on for the formation lap. We do have one missing from the formation lap. Would be next to the Porsche on the track. Porsche being that of Velichka. So who's supposed to be next to him? It's Jake Raven. Raven! No, we're not doing the same. We're not doing this angle. We're doing this angle. Yeah. Alrighty. And the pace car is off. We begin our pace lap in earnest. So Yellow Wills, after taking second in the race at Daytona, loses out on second position in qualifying to Landon Lacey. And with that, he's going to move up the standings, now ahead of Jones. As Jones ended up in 7th position out of qualifying. So he could be in danger of going down a couple spots. Once again, apologies for not having all the numbers available for you. We'll make sure everything is up to date and ready for week 3 when we head to Watkins Glen on August 1st. We go further down the pack. Nicholson in 9th, it's Yoon 10th. Lynn Scott 11th, Raven 12th. Velichka, Dillon, Chanel, Milliken, and Johnson make up the rest. Raven will be in the pits to start this race. So he will go down to 17th once we get by. As I believe we are headed to Cunningham. Ah! No. Porpoise. Apologies, I've digestive. Great. Where's my telephone? Telephone? I don't know. I don't have it right now. I don't have hearing. Why does it do that? Why do you do that? Give me that back. Thank you. Okay. I lost my monitoring abilities, which I kind of need. Ah, there he is. Got him. Where are we at now? Okay, I think we're heading towards Bishop. About ready to roll here for our 45 minutes at Sebring. We are going to keep our focus at the front of the pack. Looks like everyone's getting by A-okay. Fastest lap time will go off the board as we head to Le Mans. Around here, you'll see a lot of cars dip just like that to the bit of the outside, as that is the line you typically take. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Lopez having connection issues. That could be a very, very troubling sign. So we'll keep this on Landon Lacey for now, as Lopez needs to sort that out very soon, or else that could result in a catastrophic incident later on. Wills, I would back up if I were you. We're going to hope for the best over with Javier Lopez's connection and keep our focus on Lacey. As we go around the Sunset Bend, the pace car heads off, and it's all on Lopez. And we are green flag racing at Sebring, and immediately a move being made by Nicholson. He's going to try to look for somewhere to go as we're on board with Christopher Melton, hanging out in 8th position as we look towards T1. Way on the outside is Lacey. He's got to be careful going around there, and it looks like we've all gotten by just fine. Lacey may be off track. Nope, he is all good. Blake Toe all the way up to 2nd position. Now battling with Wills in the front. Wills nearly gets clipped by Toe on the inside, but thankfully they all get away just fine. As falling way, way back, what has happened? Javier Lopez is not on the track. As that'll be interesting to keep up with, as it appears the connection may have bitten him in the back end, and we've lost the pole position driver. In the meantime, it's Yellow Wills in the lead, heading to the hairpin first. There's a battle between Roberts and Melton will take place. Melton on that inside. Roberts has to give way, and Yoon will get by as well. Roberts down to 9th position. As we've had our first incident on the board, it belongs. Oh, we've had a few, actually. Trying to keep up with everything. There's a whole bunch of incidents that have hit the board. But for now, we've got a lot to focus on the track on live. as Javier Lopez, I believe, has gotten sent to the pits for connection. So now that things have settled down a little bit, let's have a look at these incidents. Let's focus on Velichka for now. So Roberts in front of Linscott here. Looking for somewhere to go. I don't know where the incident got registered. As Melton picks up it off track. Yeah, I don't know what it sees to see an incident on the board. Looking at the perspective of Milliken through this, I don't know. But what I do know is right now Yellow Wills is in the lead as Blake Toe is not too far behind him. In his Prodigy Racing Association GT3 debut, Blake Toe is off to a hot start. As we've got a crash on the board as Cody Johnson. Oh, that's a big crash with Shannon Milliken here at the Sunset Bend. We're going to get an onboard view of what happened with Milliken here. Down the Ullman Straight. Here's Milliken. Oh, goes in way too hard and doesn't see the checkup. And a big collision into the back end of Johnson. And that is an immediate pit for the both of them. As we focus now on the leader in Yellow Wills. Currently holding a gap of about a half a second, with Toe being the one behind him. It's Lacey, then Fabian, then Alex Jones 2 seconds back. And once again, the incidents are registering quickly, but I don't exactly see what it sees. It's very confusing, to say the least. Oh, it looks like, Yoon has gone way wide out here, and this one is supposed to be on the board. Down to 12th position at the moment. Let's get a look at what happened. Let's get into the roll bar of the car of Andrew Yoon. Oh, ends up spinning out. Had that car unsettled for a little while, but a good job by him to keep it back under control. Let's go on up to 7th position here. This is Christopher Melton battling with Dan Nicholson in front. The gap down to about 0.2 of a second. But Melton falling back a little bit as the power of the Mustang helps Nicholson get away. Velichka could be looking for a move here, and he is by Linscott at the moment. Oh, not quite. Linscott had the pull. As they're going to head towards turn 1. They'll swap positions here, and it will be Linscott to lead Velichka around turn 1. In the Porsche 992, Velichka loses ground very quickly to Linscott, who now extends that gap to 0.8 seconds. So let's go on up the track here with the top 3. Landon Lacey, our focus. In front of him is Toe and Wills. Maybe a bit of contact there, unsure. But they all seem pretty settled and ready to roll. Uh-oh. Oh, no! That's Lacey now who's having connection issues. Well, that's not good. And Lopez has not rejoined the server. Oh, we've got a crash on the board. Or we had a crash on the board. Looks like it was with Peter Dillon, but he seems to be okay. Shannon Milliken's got a caution flag as Shannon ends up off the track. But is right back and rolling, so nothing to worry about for them. Back to Melton here, now battling for 6th position. Lacey still in there at the moment. In that 3rd spot, could be looking for a good battle with Toe. Let's have a look here at the Ullman Straight. Let's get an onboard view of what it's like for Landon Lacey. Needing to be very careful here around the Sunset Bend, around the very bumpy Sebring. I don't think Lacey's got a run just yet. We are in tow for sure. Led the turn one here. Is Lacey going to look for a move? No, he's just going to slot in behind. Toe might be looking for a move on Wills, though. We got some great racing here at the front of the pack. And this is what it was like at race one. Unfortunate that we lost Lopez and couldn't keep this as a 4-car battle, but these three are seeming like they're going to do us quite well in the meantime. Let's go to Velichka here yet again in the Porsche. Uh-oh. Come on, work with me. There we go. Oh, he's got a run for now on Linscott, but ran out of room. Linscott having trouble, ends up going around! Velichka will take the spot, and Linscott off the track. We will have a look at that incident in a moment. We're going to look at that. I hope we can get that from the onboard of Velichka. Unsure, though. So it is Linscott, and Velichka is registered, so we're going to get a cockpit view of this incident here. Curtis Velichka will be our focus. Around the outside, yeah. Oh, and he does help him around just a little bit. We'll have to see if the admins want to, the stewards of this race want to take action against that. It would not behoove them to maybe do it so quickly, but that is a look at what the crash is like. Now we go on board back with Lacey yet again, and he's got to run this time on toe at the Ullman Straight. Could be looking for a move here as we go to the Sunset Bend, the final turn of the circuit. Already here in this first 10 minutes, we've got quite a bit of action as Lacey's on the inside, holding on to that line well. Could look at toe to potentially go back to the inside on the undercut. It's not quite there. Lacey moves up to second position and looks to hold on to it as we head to lap number one. I don't know what lap we're on. Lap 5. Here at Sebring, still holding on to it. Toe not too far behind. As Wills ends up off the circuit, but gets back on quickly and safely. Lacey now up in second. Andrew Fabian looking to keep up with the crew. As Cody Johnson's got a yellow flag out, but quickly resolves it. Back the track. Let's go to the battle for 10th right now between Brittany Chanel and Andrew Yoon. So Brittany Chanel currently sitting at about 7/10 back of Andrew Yoon. As Yoon having trouble keeping up with Velichka. There is a, oh my goodness, if you could see my board, it is getting lit up like a Christmas tree with incidents, but there's none really on the board. It's just people driving the circuit. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. But what I do know is Andrew Yoon just registered and he does not have it. There's nothing there. We do have Shannon Milliken still out there on the track, currently in 16th position. Thank you for this very loud ping. Exactly what I needed. As Yellow Wills has once again gone off the track, and that's allowed Landon Lacey to get a run on him, and Lacey's got a chance for the lead. He's got the lead for now on the inside of Wills, who we're on board with. We head to the Sunset Bend, and Lacey darts himself ahead on the inside line. But does Wills have a run here? Could potentially look at a re-overtake as we head to turn 1. Blake Doe had some trouble as well. Wills can't make the move. Landon Lacey takes the lead. Just 2 positions back. Here's Andrew Fabian. Now battling quite closely with Toe, who seemed to have some trouble around the Sunset Bend. And the gap now to about 3/4 of a second. Blake Toe himself 6/10 down on Wills. Wills almost a second behind Lacey. Now, unsure exactly what happened with Lopez, but at the moment he is out of this race. Let's go a little bit back of the pack as we've got Cody Johnson chasing down Cody Linscott. And again, phantom incidents are showing up. It's going to happen. We're just going to have to get used to it. Thankfully, that is only on my end, and you do not have to be burdened with this. So welcome in, everyone, here to the Prodigy Racing Association's GT3 Series. We're about 12 minutes into our second race of the series, as we go up to Rodney Roberts up here in 7th position, about a second and a half back of Nicholson. He's got Melton a second behind him. And yes, unfortunately, the livery refuses to cooperate. The Gator Rolex will be what we have. It's a good-looking car. How about we go down the track a little bit? Where do we want to go? Let's go to Peter Dillon. Have a look at what it's like on his onboard. We'll just get to hang out with him as we go to the Ullman Straight in the NSX. Hook that in, and around he goes, finishing up the lap. Let's go to Brittany Chanel, just one position up in that battle for 10th yet again with Andrew Yoon. About a half second back is Chanel. Now, unfortunately for today, we were going to maybe look at having the in-race reporter like we had last week with Fontaine, but unfortunately he will be out for 2 weeks, both for Sebring and for Watkins Glen. And today we do not have a replacement on the board ready to roll. So at this point now, everyone's kind of settling into their rhythm, and unfortunately, these rhythms are leading to quite a bit of gaps off the board. We do have a crash on the board with Cody Johnson, who is in fact way off in no man's land, so let's get a look to see what happened here. This is approaching the Big Bend. Gets way too loose over. Oh! That is a hard hit into the wall. And that front end is crunched. Just ate too much curb on the outside. Ends up hard in the wall. So Landon Lacey up here, just clear of Wills at the moment. 2-second gap ahead of Wills right now. Andrew Yoon seems to be having some trouble, maybe a little bit of an off track, but is pulling away from Chanel. Andrew Yoon in the 947 here, the McLaren 720S. Quite a few McLarens out on the track, as well as the Mercedes, but of course, the most popular car on the board is the Ferrari 296. The Prodigy Racing Association's main car when participating in endurance races across the iRacing Specials calendar. Most recently taking part in the 24 Hours of Spa in the Ferrari 296. Finishing 21st of 58 cars in its respective split. Let's go up to Blake Toe here, putting pressure on Wills. Still no sign of Javier Lopez, and unfortunately, if I had to guess, Lopez is not going to be coming back. "15 minutes into this race, here's how we shape up. Our top 10. Uh-oh, it's about to get shaken up as Peter Dillon has missed a turn and immediately taken the toe. What happened? What? Oh, he's crab walking. That car is crab walking. It does not want to turn. That's why you take the toe. So what happened to cause that? We'll try and get a better look at this. I don't know. It's hard to say. It won't go far. It won't go far back enough. We can go from here. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that explains it. Goes into turn one way too hard, slams that back end against the wall. And the suspension in the rear right was already heavily damaged. And that car, it seemed like, yeah, it can make the left turn just fine, but it looks like it's really having trouble with the rights. And yeah, that's a toe to pit lane. Oh, and then the back bumper slides off. That's not good. So unfortunate for Peter Dillon. I'm very curious what iRacing is considering an incident for iOverlay to be pinging it this often. It's confusing to say the least. Usually everyone's dipping their tires into the dirt just a little bit, right on the outside of that turn. Because right now, Landon Lacey has himself a lead of 2 seconds on Yellow Wills. Blake Toe within a second of Wills, and behind him, 2 seconds back, is Andrew Fabian. Alex Jones, 5.5 back of Fabian. Nicholson, 5 back of Jones, as Cody Johnson looks like he had an off track, but he immediately got that settled down. Looking good. Nicholson, 5 seconds back of Jones. It's Roberts who's a 1.5 seconds behind Nicholson. Melton, a 1 second back of Roberts. And around the sunset bend goes Roberts. Gap behind him, 1.1. Gap ahead, 1.5. Let's have a look at Jake Raven. We haven't got to see him much. Right now, putting together 2:07s for his lap times. So we approach the 20-minute mark here at Sebring. Raven will go around Sunset Bend, about 1 3/4 seconds back of Lynn Scott. And Cody, 22 back of Chanel. What? Blake Till at the moment about 1 second or so back. Looking pretty solid at the moment. And at the moment, it's really quiet across the track. Everyone's just kind of settling in, trying to put together good laps. That is what happens in the middle of these races. Even though these aren't necessarily endurance races, this would be considered a sprint. You still do have to endure quite a lot of track time. 45 minutes is nothing to scoff at. And honestly, across the board, these guys have done really well to keep things nice and smooth. Blake Toe, we've got a moment as Brittany Chanel has actually gotten around Andrew Yoon here on the Ullman Straight. Oh, almost came together there. Did Chanel and Yoon, as Chanel had some trouble going around the Sunset Bend, goes too wide, and Yoon gets the spot back. Well done by Andrew Yoon to keep that rolling, staying in 10th position for now. Let's move up to 8th. Back with Melton, battling for 7th with Roberts in front. I think something that's causing these gaps to form is that the lap times are wildly different across the span. Oh, Blake Toe's had an incident. What? Oh, he's had an off track. Never mind. Panicked over nothing. Fine. It happens. Closing that gap a bit is Roberts to Nicholson. So this could get very interesting as we head to our next lap. Oh, Roberts has gone a little bit wide heading towards the Ullman Straight. Could be a chance here for Melton. He's got the run. He's going to look for a move. He'll go to the outside of Roberts for now. Looking to make it stick and take advantage of that 7th position. It's now his for now. Needs to hold it around the Sunset Bend. And with Roberts sneaking in behind him, Melton up to 7th. Now trying to catch up with the power of the Mustang in front. Blake Toe's had himself another off track. Oh, whoa. All right, we're good. A little bit of a moment there, but all is all right. Having a little bit of trouble there. Oh, that's lap traffic. Come on. Cody Johnson, the first car to go down a lap. Well, the furthest up, rather, is Cody Linscott is in no man's land. Heading towards the Ullmans. Oh, that's crab walking. What happened? We got 2 crashes to look at. Oh! Well, 3, I guess. Okay, now let's look at the first crash. What happened here? What caused it? Why did he hit the board at Mach 5? Unsettled on the curb? Nope. Got it on the grass, lost control, and could not get the car stopped. It slams back end first into the wall. Yeah, that thing's destroyed. Now, why is Jake Raven in the pit? Did Jake Raven just pit? He's gone for the early pit. Oh, no, he pitted because he slammed his back end into Sunset Boulevard. What? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would, oh no, Wills! Wills has had himself an incident as well, and he's dropped all the way down to 5th, and that car's not looking so good. What happened to Yellow Wills? Let's have a look. Battling with Toe here, heading towards the Sunset Bend. On that inside, and just loses control. Tried to spin it around, but does end up near the wall, has to back it up. And that is disastrous, and the spins have commenced. So Wills now down to 5th. Lacey working with a beautiful gap of 5.5 seconds. Just nothing to worry about for this man. I really want to know what iRacing is seeing as an incident, which is kind of driving me nuts. It's got to be the bounces of the car, right? I can't think of anything else. So it's been a bit of a quiet race, but at the same time, we have had quite a few big moments. We just had one with Yellow Wills, now trying to play catch-up. We're going to catch up with Alex Jones in front, about a second or so back, heading towards the Ullman Straight. And Wills now must start the comeback. And even then, there is a long, long way to go to reach Landon Lacey. 16 seconds back of Lacey is Wills. Lacey just having the race of his life right now. 2:01 to his last lap. There's a great run there from Wills. He won't be able to get Jones yet, though. Especially because this isn't Jones in front of him. Now looks to be Jake Raven, who will go way, way outside and let him go by. Ooh, that was a good one. My apologies. Okay, all right. The digestive system is fighting. Noted. Melton trying to put a fight up against Nicholson. Nicholson's been holding very solid in this sixth position. We haven't looked at Curtis Velichka yet as he makes his way down pit lane. So Velichka will go for the early stop. What these guys are going for is the early stop to drain that car later on in the race. Have a lighter car as you head towards the final 5 minutes and look to put the best lap times that you can on the board. That's the plan there. So Velichka in pit lane. Is anyone else in there? It appears not. We've had a crash with you. Nope. Nope. Never mind. The Monster Energy Corvette of Yellow Wills had a spin towards the end of the Daytona race that took him out of contention for the win, as if the pit stop didn't. And has already had a spin here at Sebring at the Sunset Bend. And he's struggling a little bit, perhaps, as there's Raven behind them as lap traffic. What is happening with Toe? Ah, I see. Landon Lacey's going to take the early pit stop strategy as well, and Blake Toe will move up to the lead. So Blake Toe gets his first taste of PRA leading action. And so long as he holds this for a whole lap, he will gain himself a bonus point in the standings. So for him, it would be wise to at the very least stay out for another 2 laps. As the pits are starting to fly through, as Nicholson in the pits as well. Is everyone going for some more conventional pitting strategies? Yeah, Daytona, we saw Yellow Wills push that thing all the way to the dang end of the race. Has Cody Linscott registered a DNF? Another one in the pits, I believe it is Chanel. It is. It's Andrew Yoon, who seems to have registered as a DNF. So we will get a look to see what happened in the crash that knocked him out of the race. So past the hairpin. Oh. That doesn't sound right. Ah, he just pulls off. Did something happen before? Oh, yep, yeah, it did. This was earlier in the race, not too much earlier, about 5 minutes ago. As he had himself quite the moment, and I guess frustration gets the better of him, and I think he's left. Let's stay focused here right now as Alex Jones under pressure from Yellow Wills. Won't have the run to make a move yet, but could be looking at it later. And it looks like Cody Linscott is up. Ah, thank you, iRacing. The Phantom Rain. Magnificent. update, Christopher Melton has hit the pits to make his first stop. Well, it should be his only stop. On board right now with Yellow Wills, who's battling with Alex Jones for third position. Oh, what a turn. But it looks like Jones had a better one, I guess. So we sit at about 13 minutes left in the race. You know what? Let's have a look. Let's see how these guys have done in their best lap times as Shannon Milliken heads into the box. Fastest lap times, it's a 2:01.199 from Landon Lacey. Best lap from Alex Jones, a 2:02.2. Car we're looking at here, Yellow Wills, 2:01.5 was his best. 2:01.8 from Toad, 2:01.9 from Fabian. This top five is looking really solid. As Andrew Fabian will take the lead now as it's Blake Toad to go into the pits, as well as Yellow Wills. So now if Fabian can stay out there for a lap or two, he'll get himself a bonus point and move himself up the standings. The question becomes, do you want to risk gaining that extra point while having a heavier car at the end of the race? Or do you feel it's not worth it? Do you think you need that extra, that little bit of lightweightness to battle for the win? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Every driver is going to think a little bit differently about it. So for now, our race set is Andrew Fabian, Alex Jones, Rodney Roberts, Blake Toad, Landon Lacey, Christopher Melton, Yellow Wills still in the pits. Curtis Velichka will take that 7th place spot, and Daniel Nicholson in 9th. Brittany Chanel wrapping up our top 10. As Wills now heads out of pit lane and will begin the outlap. Lopez out, Lynn Scott out, Yoon out. Is Peter Dillon the last car to register on the track? So with Dillon over in 14th, everyone is really settled into their gaps. There's Nicholson about a second and a half back of Velichka in front. Another off track on the board. How about Rodney Roberts up here in 3rd position right now, closing the gap on Alex Jones. His last lap, a 2:04.0. As Blake Toad has finished up his outlap and will begin his stint with the fresh car. Yellow Wills is out on the track as well. As Blake Toad, oh, he's catching quick. He's catching Roberts quick. That's what's going on. That's why the number was going down big time. He's got pace. He's got speed. He's gone a little bit off track. And he gets it back on. Let's stay with Roberts for a bit. We've mentioned before that Rodney Roberts is a key part of the administration team for the Prodigy Racing Association. And also quite the formidable racer as well. Currently 19 seconds back of Jones as Blake Toad has chopped the gap down to 3.5. As Cody Johnson has registered an incident. and is right back on like nothing happened. Let's go to Curtis Velichka. So Curtis Velichka, the lone Porsche driver in the Prodigy Racing Association GT3 Series. Initially, it looked like would have been joined by Marlo Duncan, but he chose to go to the BMW M4. Speaking of which, we have not seen Marlo yet this series, and I'd like to change that. Hoping all is good with Duncan, and that, you know, if life gets in the way, of course that does happen. But that it's nothing too serious to have to worry about. I want these guys to be all right. So, having a look around. Yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing, really. We're down to 7 minutes remaining as Fabian and Jones in the 1-2 right now. They will need to pit at some point this race, and we'll see when that happens. Jones right now in second with a 7-second gap ahead. 7-second gap to Fabi. And so at this point, everyone's just kind of settled in. They've all got their lap times. We've got a 2 minutes on the board. Landon Lacey, 2 minutes and 610 thousandths of a second. Holy cow, that made us fast. Our first sub 201 of the day, and it's a 2006 from Landon Lacey. Currently about 4 seconds back of Blake Toe. Trying to catch up to him. It looks like the pit strategy has been benefiting Toe. We'll see if he holds. Roberts, Jones, and Fabian will all need to pit at some point. And I think that time is coming very soon. Look to see Roberts will stay out on the track, as well as Jones, as well as Fabian. Blake Toe now cutting the gap to Roberts down to just half a second. Looking to sneak into that podium spot. And Yellow Wills has been struggling out on the track, down to 9th at the moment. Maybe something happened with that pit stop. Did he he might have had repairs. Because his front bumper did make contact with the wall when he went around Sunset Bend, so I think his bumper ended up needing repairs. He chose to take him, and that has put him down in 9th position. Roberts having trouble around the hairpin. That's going to allow for Toe to go for the move on the inside, and he is around. Blake Toe will move up to 3rd position, and now look to extend the gap behind him. Over to Cunningham. Still waiting on the pit stop from Roberts, from Jones, from Fabian. It would put Blake in the lead yet again the moment that these guys pit. So we're going to wait and see who's got it. Lacey right now has the bonus point for the fastest lap. Blake Toe and Andrew Fabian will get their points for leading a lap, and Fabian has hit the pit lane, and we'll see if Jones is following suit. Yes, he will. How about Roberts? He's got a ways to go still on the Ullman Straight. Is Blake Toe going to look to try and get ahead of Fabian? The thing is, Fabian is not going to need to pit for very long, as all he's got to do is refuel up to the... Oh, whoa, there's a very slow car on the outside. That's Raven. what's going on with him, but what we do know is Fabian will not be exiting the pits in time to stay ahead of Blake Toe. And Toe will take the lead. And it's Roberts in second, who nearly cuts off Fabian as he was exiting pit lane. But Roberts in second now. Roberts chose to stay out on the track, and Fabian on the outlap is going to be a little bit slow, battling with Roberts. This will likely be Roberts' last lap as Lacey had himself a bit of a moment, maybe an off track, but he is all good. And Toe already extending that gap massively, 2 seconds ahead of Roberts, and in turn, 3 seconds ahead of Fabian. We go back the field here with the 033 on the inside of Velichka at turn 1, and we'll immediately get that position. But Velichka not giving up the fight just yet. In the Porsche number 32, Velichka's looking around, trying to find a move, and there's nothing open for him just yet. And it looks like he'll have to duck back in. Back to the front of the pack here, Fabian. Desperately trying, oh! Very nearly ends up in the back end of Roberts, trying to get around him somehow, some way. And it oh so nearly ends in disaster. Fabian, desperate to get past him over by Bishop. As now him and Lacey are building up a bit of traffic. Oh, and Roberts has ended up off the track. And that will allow for Fabian and Lacey to move up. Now 3.7 back, as we are down to a minute 50. We approach what is going to be the final lap. The white flag will be raised right towards the end of this lap, coming on up from Blake Toe. And it looks like Lacey has gotten by Fabian on the inside, but he's been a little bit squirrely on exit, and Fabian is gonna get right back at him. And the white flag is out. One last lap to go here at the Sebring International Raceway in Florida. Lacey, 3/10 back of Fabian, battling for the second place spot. The pit stop from Roberts has commenced, as he will drop down to 6th position at the moment. We'll see if it goes down any further. It should be a short stop for him. But regardless, the focus is here on the battle for second. As we'll see Yellow Wills move up to 8th position on the board as well, with Nicholson in the pits. Oh wait, no, that's not a pit. That's a crash. That is a crash at the Sunset Bend. We'll go through this replay real quick over at the Sunset Bend with Velichka behind. And that car had been spinning since the start of the turn, and there was just no hope for it. And he tried to get it back, and it's pitching all over the place. No control, and around it goes. Lacey looking for the move on Fabian here. As we go back to live, he's got it on the outside, looking to make it stick. Fabian there, but has to fall back. But the focus of this race is going to be on Blake Toe. Blake Toe steps into the series late. Blake Toe enters in qualifying in 5th position, and Blake Toe, with a little bit of good fortune, is going to find himself rounding Sunset Bend as the first car on the lead lap. Doesn't matter that the fastest lap belongs to Lacey. Around the bend goes Toe. And for him, the sun will rise. Blake Toe, your winner at the Sebring International Raceway. As Lacey does get by Fabian to take that 2nd place spot. As Fabian flashing his lights like mad. We'll have to see what happened there as we wrap things up. But a great race up here from the front as the rest of the pack will make their way through. Melton in 5th position after Alex Jones takes 4th. It's Roberts in 6th, Velichka 7th. Yellow Wills will round this bend, looking to hold on to 8th with Nicholson close behind. And it looks like a crash was reported from Yellow Wills. Regardless, we've got Brittany Chanel rounding out the top 10. It'll be Shannon Milliken in 11th, Cody Johnson in 12th, and Peter Dillon in 13th. Dillon will cross the line as Johnson has left the server, being a lap down and such. And that is Peter Dillon crossing the line for 13th position. Fabian's doing his donuts a little bit early, enjoying his third place spot. Congratulations to him for reaching that podium. Let's get everything all set and ready, as we should hopefully get a chance to interview these drivers, which would be good to see. We're just going to keep watching these donuts for a bit. Now we go over to Blake Toe, as he'll make his way to, I believe, do some donuts of his own. Oh, he's going to go to pit lane? Oh, is he going to do donuts in pit lane? I hope so. He better. He's not doing donuts. He's just pitting. Boo! Boo! And we could hopefully get our top 3 in for our post-race interviews, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. And I don't believe it will be. And that is a... Oh, here we go! Yeah, baby! Blake Toe doing the donuts in the pit lane! Let's go! That's what we wanted to see, even just for 1 or 2. Plenty fine by me. And that's going to do it. Your podium for Sebring. It's Andrew Fabian in 3rd position. Landon Lacey takes 2nd. Blake Toe makes his GT3 debut and grabs a victory at Sebring International Raceway. Coming up next here for the GT3 Series for the Prodigy Racing Association, it'll be Watkins Glen on August 1st, with the qualifying beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to stay tuned for the twitch.tv/PRA Network to keep tabs on all that takes place heading into that. And now we will get a chance to talk to, I believe, at least 2 of the drivers. And that will be the case. I believe we will not be getting our 3rd place driver in Andrew Fabian, but what we will get is we'll start it off with Landon Lacey. So we'll drag him on in here. Welcome in, Landon Lacey, our 2nd place driver of the day. The first question I want to mention has to do with something that you mentioned last week in our interview. You had said that you were teammates with Javier Lopez, and the big question is, what happened there at the start with him, if you know?
He was having, I don't know, practice and qualifying went well. He didn't have any issues. We gridded up, made halfway through the pace lap, still no issues, and then we got closer to the back stretch, and I don't know, his internet just started acting up. He was having issues in iRacing, he was having issues in Discord. So I don't know. His internet kind of pooped on him at the wrong time.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Would have loved to see Lopez in that battle for the front. You guys really had yourselves, like, even though it wasn't quite as flashy, say, as Daytona, would you say you still had quite the intense battle working against Toe, against Fabian, against Jones?
I don't know. I had a really fast car. Once I was able to get past Wheels, I kind of set sail, and then on the pit stop, I forgot to uncheck my tires. So I lost time taking tires, and then also lost time having to let my tires warm up. Ran some heaters there toward the end, but just I didn't have enough time to really run down Blake. That was my biggest worry after I took tires. I was like, I'm gonna come out so far behind, I'm not gonna be able to close it back up. And there for a minute, I thought I could, and then I got stuck behind Fabian, and it kind of slowed me up a little bit. And
that does sometimes happen, yeah, with traffic. Even still, you put up quite the fight trying to battle with Blake Toe. So congratulations on your P2, moving on up after P3 over at Daytona. And hopefully we'll get to see you next week over at Watkins Glen. And if you want to stick around, we are going to drag What's up?
Can I do some shout outs real quick?
Oh, of course you can. How about it?
You know, first of all, shout out to my teammate Javi. I'm sorry that your internet crashed, buddy. Would have loved to race with you. Second of all, congrats to my other teammate Blake. His first race with us this week, and he gets a win. So congrats to you too, buddy. Thank you to Liquid Molly for all the support they give. Thank you to Clinton for the support they give IRL. Um, can't thank these guys enough for all they do. Thank you for the broadcast. Thank you to everybody who puts this on. And other than that, thank you to everybody that's gotten me here to this point.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here. If you want to stick around, we'll bring your other teammate in. As now
Great.
stepping on in is the winner of Sebring, Blake Toe. Welcome in to the Prodigy Racing Association, and congratulations on your first victory. Sadly, you couldn't join us for last week, but what a way to kick this off. Where do you think you found a lot of that pace in that car with you?
Honestly, I don't know. I was following Landon for a while, and it was going great. But
Actually, that's a good answer, because Landon has an insane amount of pace. My man put up the best lap of the race, after all.
yeah, he was hauling the mail, but bottled the pit stop, so I got lucky. I think I got really lucky because Javier disconnected.
That is very true. Yes, both Javier disconnecting and Landon over here putting tires on his car when he doesn't need to. But sometimes these things happen, and hey, you are the benefactor of good fortune, but you still have to put those good laps up, and that is exactly what you did. Now, there were of course some moments with the traffic. Did you think that the traffic on your end was really anything big to worry about?
I got really lucky, actually. I was behind Rodney, and he let me go. I guess after a corner, I had a better exit, and I think he hadn't pit yet, so he gave me the go, and I got really lucky there for that. So thank you, Rodney.
Yes, that was over by Le Mans, I believe it was. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It was Fabian as well that was right behind you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. What was the case with you and Fabian? Because it looked like you two were going to have like a pretty strong battle, but then the gap just gets bigger and bigger and bigger every lap. Where do you think that comes from?
I'm not sure. Honestly, it could have been from when I bumped him at the beginning. I gave him a little love tap at the beginning, and I gave him the spot back. But hopefully he didn't have any damage, and it was just from pace. But
now we will hope for the best from that. We're going to drag this other guy in. If you two want to stick around, not exactly sure who we've got in here, but it'll be interesting to see. Welcome on in, Sloppy the Pig. How are you doing after this fine race at Sebring?
Sweaty.
Very fair, very fair. Sweaty, but did you have a good time out there?
Yeah, it was clean racing. I was kind of on an island, so just chilling, minding my own business.
You know what? That is not a bad thing at all. What would you say as far as like the pace that you had in your car? Are you happy with what you had moving into this race?
I wasn't keen on the setup. I was just using a iRacing setup. I didn't have the pace like the front runners, so I just locked in and kept it consistent.
Okay. Well, you did really put up quite a bit of a fight, Fabian. I will give you credit for that. Our P3 driver here on the podium. Thank you very much for joining us. Especially like we talked to Blake a little bit about when you were behind Rodney and losing a bit of pace perhaps to a guy in front, and then Rodney just lets you go. Do you have any idea about what might have happened with Rodney, like a bad corner or just him being a good sport, do you think?
I think he was letting me by. I almost killed him into tower corner. So.
I was watching that, by the way.
Yeah, I stood on the brakes.
Good on you for getting on those brakes. I did not want to see someone get punted off the track. It already happened once. I would not want it to happen again.
Yeah, I did it at Daytona last week, so it wasn't happening again no matter what.
Did you make contact with Jones? I don't remember.
I don't know if it was netcode or not. It was close. And then there was a lap down car at Daytona, and I was not anticipating him, and I killed him.
Ew.
So it's going extra careful at Sebring.
Yes, well done in that regard, not taking out Rodney. That would be very, very bad. Well, thank you all very much for joining me here. Congratulations to all of you on your podium positions. And thank you all for joining us here for the Prodigy Racing Association's second race of the GT3 Series. I'm Thomas Cuthbert, also known as Orion I. Once again, I'll give you the reminder, we will be heading to Watkins Glen on August 1st for our third race of the season. Heading into the second half, I hope you're ready, and things are expecting to get quite a bit interesting. I'm Thomas Cuthbert for the PRA Network. I will see you next week.